This is the Transformers Generations Studio Series 86, figure number 29 from the movie Transformers the Movie in 1986, Deluxe Class Bumblebee. I picked up this figure from our toys. Let's get this guy out of packaging.
And since I'm the smallest, I have the best chance of getting through nose gear. Let's go, Bumblebee!
Here is Studio Series 86 Bumblebee out of the box, and the figure is not as bad as I thought it would be. He's pretty good. He does give off a lot of that 80s nostalgia vibe, something that has been missing for a lot of the Bumblebee figures for the Generations line, at least the G1 style Bumblebee. But this one, he does kind of give off a very strong 80s vibe. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 10 centimeters tall, or about 4 1/8 inches tall. Here he is with the other mini bots. We've got Cliffjumper Brawn, we've got Gears, and on the back we've got Cosmos, Huffer, Warpath, and a Beachcomber. Here he is with my vintage 2009 Revenge of the Fallen line, Deluxe Class Bumblebee, and with Earthrise or Kingdom Leader Class Optimus Primes. And finally, here he is with Legacy United Animated Universe Deluxe Class Bumblebee and the Netflix Earthrise Deluxe Class Bumblebee. The figure comes with a diorama, which is the scene inside Unicron, I believe. All the figure's budget was spent on engineering and sculpting, and as such, he only has one accessory, his G1 styled blaster pistol, which is very similar to what we got from the Centurion drone. I think this was much better. It does give off a little bit of Masterpiece vibes. It's gray plastic, it's painted silver, and you can plug it on his back if you want to. That's also where it's going to stay in if you want to store it in car mode. So going back to what I said, was talking about the sculpt of this figure. The backpack is just too big. Chest is kind of big, and the feet are just, I'm sorry, this is unforgivable. I was really hoping they would kind of adapt what they did with the Masterpiece MP45, and they would try and squish the hood, the bonnet, and the wheels and the fender, and then just find a way to just fold the wheels in. The wheels stay exposed. It doesn't fold in, and there's enough space for a hinge or a flap right there which they can fold the wheel in, and they didn't do that. I think that's unforgivable, because this is a very tiny deluxe class figure, and I get it, the budget went to the engineering, but they could have spent a little bit extra just to fold those wheels. And I would have accepted having the chunky sneakers for feet, but the wheels not folding in, that's really unforgivable. One of the gimmicks which we will see later on in the transformation is that disappearing Autobot faction logo right there, because in the cartoon the logo kept disappearing. Articulation of the figure, the neck is on a ball joint. He's got a waist swivel. Shoulders are on ball joints. You go move them in and out, forward and backward 360, bicep swivel, hinge elbow, swivel wrists. Hips are on hinges, allow you to do the splits, have the legs kick forward and backward. You got thigh swivel, got a hinge knee. The toes can move up and down because of transformation, and he's got a rocker tilt that's really positioned I don't think that's the ankle. The ankle should be here, but it's positioned like on his calf, which is kind of a weird thing. He feels like his leg is broken. Doesn't really feel like a rocker tilt. So paint apps for this figure. You can see the mismatched yellow paint with the yellow plastic. So the yellow roof is like banana yellow, and then you have sort of like a pale lemon yellow paint on the sides of the windows, that is annoying. I mean, this is a Studio Series figure. They should have found a way to do a better job with that. Put a thicker enamel type of paint, yellow paint on that to match his yellow, his bright yellow. But yeah, also the plastic that they use, the unpaintable plastic for the forearms, the shoulders, it's like egg yolk custard yellow, and this one's banana yellow. So there's a lot of mismatched colors. Man, I mean, I do appreciate the fact that they've tried to give us the most accurate yellow color for Bumblebee, but these mismatch colors, I mean, it's a Studio Series figure. That is a little bit unforgivable. So let's transform Bumblebee. I'm gonna pop the backpack off and up. The head sculpt is going to fold out. Now you wanna pop the chest open. And then the head is going to fold down here. Then you want to unfold these shoulder pieces. You want to fold the arms this way. Then you want to rotate. Okay, and then just set them ready to be folded back in. Okay, and then this one is going to stay right there. And then just fold back the roof. And now for the legs and feet, I think most of the engineering went here. Go ahead and open up these panels. You want to fold these pieces back up, fold down these pieces. You want to fold the waist assembly and clip it on the back. Instructions tell you to already connect and tab in the legs, but they love to come undone when you're transforming. So you don't have to join them together at this point. So what you need to do or accomplish is you have to raise the legs up and then bend the knees in the wrong direction so that you can fold the feet up and about, around and underneath the car, as it were. So go ahead and do that. Fold the knees in the wrong direction and then fold the feet up. And then make sure when you tab everything's flush, neat, and folded all the way, compressed, like he's sort of putting him in a fetal position. It's just push everything in. Then you fold down the arms. They're going to stay here. And then you join the forearms together, tab them together. And then finally the backpack, the back part is just going to fold down and collapse and compress and complete the rear end of the car. And here is Studio Series 86 Bumblebee in his chibi, deformed Volkswagen Beetle car alt mode. And it looks so much like he did in the cartoon, because you see him transform and then he's like speeding off with Spike. It does roll very nicely. They are on rivets. The tires or the wheels are on rivets. So very nice. Like I mentioned earlier, the gun can stay here on the back. So Autobot logo here, and then the other Autobot logo up here there. So I have no problem with the alt mode. The alt mode looks terrific. My only gripe, biggest complaint, is the gappage right here. This so much gaps that I don't know how to address that. Even in renders and the photoshopped images for the marketing images we've seen online, there's really a gap right here, and it really cuts the bonnet awkwardly that it kind of ruins the silhouette for me. It feels like his bumper was just attached and he was cut up. I'm sorry. It's bugging me. I don't know how they could have fixed that. I wish it could have been a lot smoother. That's one thing I wish they could have improved on, how the panels tab in. Now, if you want a comparison, we have Gears and Brawn. So yeah, he was smaller than the other mini bots for that matter. So I guess the scaling with these two is quite accurate. I think the most important comparison we can do is between the Netflix Earthrise Bumblebee and then this one, the animated universe. And as you can see, he fits right in. It's about the same size as these guys. Yep, this one is the proper Volkswagen alt mode. Very, very realistic, but he didn't look like this in the cartoon. He looked like this. So I guess it will depend on what kind of collector you are. If you're really like focused on screen accuracy like me, this is the one for you. But if you want a really good looking alt mode, this I think is the better looking alt mode. It looks so much like a Volkswagen. And in case you wanted to see him with an Optimus Prime in car mode and Optimus in truck mode, here he is with the Kingdom or Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. I think he still kind of fits in scale with this guy, but he does look a little bit off scale, a little bit too big for this one. So we'll have to wait for that new Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime to arrive. But in the meantime, yeah, I think they're pretty okay. Does he fit in Optimus's trailer? He actually does. I am shocked. I thought it'd be way too big for the trailer, or the Earthrise or Kingdom trailer, but yep. And so some final thoughts on the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. I think it's a good figure, definitely. I don't think it's a horrible figure, but it is not a perfect figure. It is something that still needs improvement, in my opinion. I was really expecting this one to be like a mini masterpiece. I know that's too much to ask, particularly for a Studio Series figure, but I was under the impression, based on the engineering when it was revealed, that it was going to be something like that. But okay, the biggest question is, which one do you get? If you're a big Bumblebee fan and you collect the Generations figures, obviously you need to get both of these. These are great figures. You're going to have a good time with these. If you haven't picked up any of these Bumblebee figures, my suggestion is you go for this one, because this one is still going for ridiculous bonkers prices on the secondary and tertiary market. I think it's like 50, 60 bucks. This one is probably going to be easier to get than this one, because this one is a Walmart exclusive. This one is an alpha type of figure, which means part of the Hasbro's new Alpha line or Alpha Wave, where it's a solid case of all these figures. You'll probably get 8 pieces in a case. It'll be a lot easier to find him, and it's not a store exclusive, and he looks more G1. Now, having said that, which one is the better figure? I think from an engineering standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint, I think the Netflix Bumblebee still has it. It's a lot more fun. The transformation is more intuitive. The alt mode as a more realistic Volkswagen, I think, is superior. But if you're a sucker for show accuracy or cartoon accuracy or screen accuracy like I am, I love my figures looking exactly like how they did on the show or in the movie, then I think this one is the winner. I think this one, in terms of accuracy, really is far better than this one, because yes, so much more G1 vibes, more nostalgia. The colors are actually better, except for the mismatched paint and plastic, you know what I'm saying. But the yellow that they use for this one is, I think, more accurate. The head sculpt, I think this one's more G1. That one is G1 styled, but bordering on comic book and G1. In terms of silhouette, he is a little chunky and clunky here and there, but he still gives off a lot more G1 vibes than that one. Now, how am I going to rate this figure? I know I gave this one like a 10 or a 9.5 or something like that. This one, I'm going to give it a solid 9, because I was still impressed by the way this figure came out. It's just that the wheels sticking out and not folding up like that one, and the mismatched yellow coloration. For a Studio Series figure, I think that's inexcusable, so I cannot give it a perfect score. I think 9 is the most generous rating I can give it, mainly because I'm probably biased because it's a Bumblebee figure and it's G1. So, well, for some collectors, based on what you've seen in this review, you're probably thinking it's like a 7 or an 8. At the end of the day, it's really a matter of preference. Like I said, you can't have too many Bumblebee figures. This is like an Optimus Prime figure. You can't have too many Optimus Prime figures in your collection. So it's a good figure, very good rendition of the G1 Bumblebee. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this Transformers Studio Series from the movie Transformers the Movie 1986 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.